I want to bring in Steve Deace. He's host of the radio Steve Deace Show and rules for Patriots, how conservatives can win again. He's also in Iowa. And Steve, how do you think that this FBI Comey letter, FBI Director Comey letter, really influences anything at this point in the election with 11 days to go?
I think it has the potential to have a substantial impact, Thomas, if only because there wasn't anything else left on the calendar between now and an election day that was considered to be a major event. And all along, there's really been in this election, my read of it is you have two really disliked candidates, and there's been this tension between what the American people are more willing to put up with, the stench of corruption around Hillary Clinton or the stench of insanity around Donald Trump. And for the majority of this race, corruption has beaten crazy. But if we have something here at the end, and I can't believe James Comey would inject himself at this late stage into a campaign if he didn't think this was something serious. And if he did, then that's malfeasance in the extreme. But if he's got something serious, then we may see corruption make a comeback here on crazy in these final days.
So you're thinking that crazy could beat corruption. Basically, FBI Director Comey finished the 3 paragraphs of this statement saying, although the FBI cannot yet assess whether or not this material may be significant, and I cannot predict how long it will take us to complete this additional work, I believe it is important to update your committees about our efforts in light of my previous testimony. How much of this, Steve, do you think is a political football that is born out of Donald Trump and a lot of his rhetoric about Hillary Clinton being in jail if he is president, opening an investigation into the investigation of FBI Director Comey? Is a lot of this just political semantics at this point?
Tough to speculate on that, Thomas. I really don't think Trump's rhetoric had anything to do with this at all. I think it's probably much more likely that new evidence came to light. And when you had a previous situation where not one but 2 FBI went to the Justice Department asking for an investigation, and they were turned down and rebuffed both times. This may be a situation where Director Comey sat there and took a look at this and said, you know, if we have another dog and pony show about this like we had a few months ago, I'm going to have resignations, I'm going to have a revolt on my hands, and maybe that's how this becomes a massive political story when maybe there really isn't one. So this strikes me as a guy that is operating on an extreme amount of caution in light of the potential political consequences. I don't think Trump's crazed rhetoric really has anything to do with this at all. I think it's more about if he doesn't follow through on this late into the juncture, what goes on within his own department? What kind of whistleblowing do we see? And that's far more damaging to the credibility of the FBI than Donald Trump's semantics. I mean, in many cases, Thomas, Trump has become like the boy who cried wolf, where his rhetoric is so over the top, nobody buys it anymore. I think Comey's far more concerned about credibility within his own infrastructure.
Well, before Trump has said that this is a disgrace, now he's saying he has respect. I mean, it depends on the weather vane of wins for Donald Trump to give
and that works the other way too. That works the other way too. I mean, Comey was a hero to the left a few months ago, and now, of course, he's going to be an impeachable hack. I mean, that's just that's what we have with a partisan election.
Steve, thank you very much. Again, this is the event in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We expect Hillary Clinton to take the stage there any moment. And straight ahead.